Do you find yourself losing several games in a row, then winning a bunch, then going on another lose streak right after? You might be a victim of something called loser's queue. Now, what is loser's queue? It's when the game either thinks you're the greatest player of all time, or it thinks you might actually need help tying your shoes in the morning, and there's absolutely zero in between. Take me, for instance. I perform pretty well in pretty much every game I play. So the game thinks I'm Shroud in his prime and pairs me up with some of the most unloved humans I have ever seen in my entire life. I perform well, so the game pairs me up with people who are not performing well, oftentimes when they're on a losing streak, in order to balance it out. Hence, loser's queue. Now, why does this happen? Because the developers of this game are on something that starts with Galaxy and ends with gas. That's why they call them the Guardians of the Galaxy. This matchmaking reminds me there is no such thing as too much therapy, actually. I have said things to my teammates I dare not repeat on video lest they be used against me in a court of law. Something about the games where you just get absolutely rolled within the first 30 seconds before the objectives even open, that it just really brings out the Hispanic in a brother. Now, let me show you how to spot if you're in loser's queue through my own ranked experience. Also, make sure to subscribe because we're gonna do a lot of Marvel Rivals around here, so stay tuned for that. Now, I started playing this game having played maybe 10-15 hours of Overwatch total. That game just wasn't really my thing. When I'm looking for the best ways to self-sabotage, I'm more of a League of Legends kind of guy. In Overwatch, when you get flamed, they just call you a slur and they just go about their day. See, at this point, I need a little bit more juice. You know, that's a bit vanilla to me at this point. In League of Legends, my teammates are calling me a mud-rolling pig. That's a bit more of my speed right there. I like that. So I came into this game knowing I'm probably going to need a character to one-trick, something simple, you know, while I learn the characters and the flow of the game. So I chose Black Panther. Now, a thing about me is I pick things up pretty quickly. It only took me about 9-10 games to figure out that my character's dash could reset. So like I said, I do pick things up pretty quickly. But once I figured that out, I mean, the sky was the limit, really. And I say all of that to say, by the time I got to level 10, the Guardians of the Galaxy must have thought I was actually Black Panther in real life. They must have thought I could go pro off the rip, because I could not get out of Bronze 3. I mean, I'm not saying I was Diamond right out the gates, but I'm not talking about Bronze 1, not Bronze 2. I could not get out of Bronze 3, bro. Take it easy. Not because I wasn't performing, obviously. It's just that condoms must have been really expensive during the 2000s for these people to be on my team. I actually can't believe it. I spent several weeks in Bronze 3 in some of the worst games I've ever played. Loser's queue is not about the skill level, it's about the quality of the games. Now see right here, I just finished getting a kill on Moon Knight. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, I will be having a Black Panther guide coming out soon. So my Luna managed to find her Q key on her keyboard, which surpassed all my expectations at this point. And right here, I do something very unique. I throw a spear over the entire enemy team, you know, basically letting them know, hey guys, the Black Panther on the enemy team sucks absolute cock, so let's go kill him. So Winter Soldier takes up the challenge. Now Winter Soldier, if you guys are not aware, is one of the worst matchups for Black Panther. But I didn't know that. And sometimes, you know, ignorance is bliss, so I fight him fully expecting to win, by the way. Just fully confident I was going to win this. Now, I dash in to get my shield. I then try to spinning kick to take, you know, any mosquitoes out in the area. You know, anything, any pollen in the air that was in there, I just made sure to take that out, just so the Bucky doesn't have any help during the fight. I then dash and somehow end up outside, which, as I'm writing this, I feel pretty confident saying I did not intend to do that. But then I hear someone yell something about armed and dangerous, so I walk back in just to see, you know, who they were talking about, and I get an absolute nuke dropped on my skull. So, and I say all that to say, see, that's a skill issue. That's not loser's queue. Loser's queue is when the quality of back-to-back-to-back games are just absolutely horrendous. In Bronze, you don't have healers. You'll just have secondary DPS. See, that's a skill issue. Me being 15-7 and the rest of my team chuck-jugging piss. Look at these scores at the end of that game. 30-3, 34-6, 33-6. It wasn't even a game, bro. Now that's just one game, you know, like it happens. You have bad games, but except literally the next game at the end of the first round, this is what the game looked like. And my Scarlet Witch, truly in the multiverse of madness, steps out of the point and wastes her ult as the round ends. She thinks we didn't see it, but we did. We did. I did eventually make it to gold after about like 50 hours of emailing NetEase Games to please forgive me for whatever transgressions I might have had against them in the past. I never even said anything bad about Viking Guard. I thought Never After was an absolute masterpiece. Harry Potter, Magic Awaken, I mean that's an instant classic. So I promised to be a good boy if they lifted the curse on my account, at least for a little while, so I could, you know, enjoy my life. Unfortunately, the greatest curse you can put on your account is dueling with a bronze friend. If you actually want to know what loser skew is, just duel with someone who is a lower rank than you and just watch what unfolds. We played 30 or 40 games total. I think we won 5 of them. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating. Every single game was over before the objectives even opened. It was wild. If NetEase Games is trying to test my patience for how bad my friend is at this game, that's a test I'm gonna fail every time, bro. No more doing for me in the future. I am mostly a solo player anyway, because I don't really have, you know, high-ranking friends or anything like that. So, also, I just never saw the value in partying up, because I just lose all those games anyway. So, if you're not partied up with 6, then the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna do their best to find the absolute most handless humans for your team to fill you out. Pause. Eventually, I did reach the pinnacle. The rank of Diamond. There is one obstacle that every boy has to overcome in order to become a man, and that is Platinum in Marvel Rivals. If you want to put some hair on your chest, drop into a game of Rivals and Platinum. Every single game in Platinum is loser skew. Even if you win, you actually still lost, because every game is a commentary on whether humanity has finally gone too far. I personally didn't know the human IQ went to the negative numbers. You can imagine my reaction when NetEase Games announced that they would be doing a soft rank reset in 2 weeks. I immediately started to write down letters, and with those letters I formed words, and with those words I very humbly informed the developers that if they were to go through with this decision, it would be highly detrimental to my mental health. Luckily, common sense won the day, and they quickly rescinded that update. If I had to go through Platinum again, I might have gone sent to Azkaban. I had a game where I went 37-5. I was absolutely bing bong ding dong slinging my schlong all over these kids. 37-5, and the absolute muggles on my team decided I wanted to be like my favorite YouTubers and just spectate. And when I asked them about this utterly embarrassing performance, I met with, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can tell. So I had to wait a couple of days to try and climb again. Because I ordered a new monitor because my old one had this like giant hole in the middle of it. Not exactly sure what happened to it. It looked like Luffy hit it with a Gear 4th King Kong gun and went straight through it. I'm not sure what transpired. Platinum is the ultimate loser skew because people are good enough to use their characters but not good enough to know what to actually do. If you're consistent in bronze, silver, and gold, you'll eventually climb. But Platinum players are built so different from the rest of the universe, it would actually be tough. Sometimes you get teamed up with a player, absolutely get demolished with them, and then the next game they're on the other team, and then they get absolutely demolished. It is the way of life in Platinum. Please don't make me go back there, NetEase Games. I apologize profusely if I ever said anything bad about any of your games. Thankfully, I'm Diamond now, so nothing like that happens in Diamond. Right, guys? Right? Right?